This is William Duvall.
This is Mark Mengi.
We're with Metal Allegiance, and you are listening to Tom and Zeus on the
Shout It Out Loudcast.
Right On.
Oh boy. Here we go. This is James Simmons. Put that cookie down. Kiss. I'm pressing the button. Stockbroker Simmons. Star? Stanley. Is that what he does? Stop shouting. He's not what you would call a handsome man. Oh no, here come the kiss times. Is that a positive thing? Okay. Alright. I'm gonna grab me an ice cold mellow yellow. Why? Why do that to the fan? Stop it. Why? Because fuck him. That's what are you talking about? 617-525-0833. You do? Hey, fucko. Do you like Kiss? Settle down.
Hello. Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus, another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast. Episode 376. Robert V. Conte II.
Electric Boogaloo. I haven't had a chance to say that in a long time. Yeah, we love Robert, so this is going to be a fun one, as always.
Yeah, he always comes packed with minutia.
Yes.
And all sorts of fun details and stories and stuff. And Robert's a great guy, so we're excited, and we know that you're going to like this one. So,
yep.
But speaking of excited, last week we described and analyzed and broke down Quarantine Show at Rascals in Worcester.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some feedback, and we did a little poll.
Yes. So the poll, as we announced last week, we're now going to be pivoting towards the Shout It Out Loudcasters Facebook group poll. So the question was, which of these songs would you like to see Quarantine add to their set list? So the options were Take It Off, Secretly Cruel, You Love Me to Hate You, Not for the Innocent, four of our favorites here. And Not for the Innocent takes the poll with 46%. We got Take It Off coming in at second at 33%. Secretly Cruel there at 10%. You Love Me to Hate You at 9%. And a couple of poll comments there. Our good buddy Glenn Barth. Take It Off. Jericho would have so much fun with this. Plus, we all need more revenge tunes in our lives. Kyle Schneider, they're all winners. 0 fatigue factor, but the correct answer is You Love Me to Hate You. Yes, it is. Mikey Zamboni says, hey, guys, Take It Off is the best of those, but I went, what, Mikey Zamboni or Hey, guys? Which one? Hey, guys.
Mikey Zamboni.
Sounds like a Jerky Boys thing, yeah. I went with Secretly Cruel just for something completely different, something you've never heard live or otherwise. Charles Eaton, now that's a poll. Talk about hard to choose. Tyler Vickery, Take It Off is right in Jericho's wheelhouse. Our friend from Finland, Jani Aslak Rossinen, did they play Thou Shalt Not? If not, that's my write-in. Woo, yeah. Then he goes, even if the riff is a Beastie Boys ripoff.
Oh.
And then our good friend, Shout It Out Loudcast Security, Joe Morris.
I think my phone is still ringing.
Me too. My phone will not stop ringing, and we'll get to that why. Joe, I love you, but I'm not going to read your comment because you're mean. And let's look at some Twitter action here. Lone Star Wolf says, maybe Quarantine can write a Kiss-inspired song that will be part of the new Kiss Avatar band song that they're teasing. Oh, God. Our buddy John Gross says, Not for the Innocent. Tennessee Duke, depends on the situation and whether or not they need some perspiration.
No.
All right, I like that. Yeah, that's what we got for Twitter this week, Zeus. I'll throw it over to you.
All right. So on the Book of Face. Dude, stop calling me. Steve Warsap adds, you wanted the best, you got the best. The hottest podcast in the world, Shout It Out Loudcast. Oh, thank you, buddy.
Steve, thanks, man.
Bobby Kenner adds, I have yet to see Quarantine live, but definitely want to. If they ever get anywhere near Nashville, I'm there. For all the times I've listened to Jericho on his own show and with you guys, there's no doubt his love for 80s Kiss music is real and it shines through on the music. I completely believe you when you talk about how pumped that crowd was due to how good the band played and their enthusiasm. I was a Jericho fan first for the wrestling, but now I'm fully on board with all the music endeavors. Always have been. That's great to hear. Nick Hagan adds, great band. How about adding Just a Boy and Fogel's coffee commercial into the set? Those are deep cuts, and then there are crevice cuts. Okay.
Oh, God. Nice.
So, Tom, I don't know if you knew this.
Probably not.
Roger Chenard adds, thanks for all the all sinners mention.
Oh.
Club did ask us to play that long. Thanks.
Oh, so a guy from the band listens to our show and commented? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, hey, we did say they were good. We just said, wow, they played long. Well, you did a little more than I did, but that's okay.
Well, no,
I don't think it was rude.
Well, no, they were good. My point was, I've never been to a show before, even a arena concert where the opener plays for an hour. I didn't say that All Sinners was bad, and I'm not. I just said that was surprising because the headliner was Quarantine. But hey, All Sinners, glad you listened to us, and you did sound good. But an hour was a long time.
Roger, I clicked on his profile. It says owner of Purchase Street Records.
Ooh,
drummer for All Sinners.
Nice.
Oh well, it's all good, man. I don't think we said anything rude.
We didn't. We just said it was long, which I'm sorry, it was.
Lisa Michalik adds, remember old Lisa?
Oh my God, yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah. Gobbly DeGook. I think that was her, wasn't it?
I keep getting that confused with Wobbly Magoo.
Yeah. Lisa writes, my friend Pam was there. She had so much fun. I know you are a crazy Jericho fan of all sorts.
Yep.
So that's awesome. And sounds like your friend Pam is. Maybe she's local. Who knows? But great to hear from you, Lisa. So let's go now to Loudcasters. If I can skip all the fucking Joe Morris fucking notifications I get that he's called. Holy shit, buddy.
Thank God he's our security still.
He wants to make sure we're okay. Why is there as I'm scrolling through
Go
this
ahead. I know what you're going to say.
Joyce DeWitt fucking post here?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask about why is there a shit-stained friggin' chair in our friggin' feed.
That's from Hall of Famer Jeff Trott.
Guess who's back in the motherfucking house with a fat dick for your motherfucking mouth?
That's his chair? He shit on it? You shit on my chair!
He sent me the photo, to be fair.
I know.
John Whiteman just added, looks like somebody already put a deposit on it. Oh my God. So this is one of the problems. Again, we don't look at our feedback before the episode. We look at it live, and it's organic. Yep. We look at it like, oh, that's a funny comment. We don't pre-do these.
No.
Except if we remember somebody gave us a real good comment, we're like, oh, just remember that one for comment of the week.
Yeah.
So me trying to find the episode post right now.
Oh, God, good luck.
Is taking me forever.
Yep.
Simply because there's too much shit there. And this is the problem we have. Everybody puts up stuff. And
it's good.
When I look at some of the stuff, I'm just like, okay. I shouldn't deny it because there's something wrong. But, I'm not interested in it. And I don't need fucking 2,000 posts and half of them not being interesting, really, just to be nice and be like, oh, well, they're a listener. Oh, well, or, they're just putting something up.
Dude, I have an itchy trigger finger, so trust me.
Yeah, I'm at the point where it's just, okay, I'm looking at this. Yeah. What? I'm all set. Then, and usually when that happens, it's somebody that puts this post on 15 other fucking pages.
Oh, that shit, you forget it.
Yeah, the guys that you can see them on other pages, the same post.
Yep.
We're not here to build your fucking show up or your YouTube channel, your Instagram channel.
Dude, that's why one of our group rules is no promotions. No promotions.
Yeah, if we like your shit, we're putting it up ourselves. You don't need to post it. We'll post it. So there's some sort of quality control is needed for Loudcasters. Too much, just not funny, not interesting. How many times are we going to put up the same videos of fucking, or the same Ace laughing plumber joke meme? Like,
and I can tell you right now, I know by the time you guys listen to this episode, it's going to be 4 or 5 days, but we can't have everybody posting about Vegas. There's a post up there. Somebody did it. That was the first one. It got approved. Comment on that one.
Yeah, it's the same thing with our episode post.
Yes.
I've just declined other people's comments. Yeah, about your episode this week. And they write their own post.
No,
put it under the post that we just put. We don't need to have 15 conversations going on 5 different posts.
You can see how cranky we are.
Yeah, it's just, and it all stems from me trying to find the episode post, and I'm scrolling, and I'm looking at half these things that I'm like, what?
What is that? Yeah, no, I get it.
Like, why is this on here? Why do we have that?
Yep.
So don't get your feelings hurt. If we just decline some stuff, if something's a duplicate, I usually will write to somebody, sorry, it's a duplicate, and decline.
I do the same thing. Yeah, of course. I do that.
Come on. This is fucking brutal shit. Like, entertain me. I'm even going to put something up there. Make it interesting.
Yep.
Just wait till you hear Robert II coming up. Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
I think we're going to do Kiss Fatigue again next week, Tom.
Why don't we just do it? That's going to be the new show.
Kiss Fatigue. All right. Glenn Barth ads on Loudcasters. Oh, you're over here. Yeah, I'm over here now. I'll comment here since X is a dying platform. It is, my friend. It's fucking pathetic how bad it's gotten. Yep. That used to be by far our favorite social media account. And our interactions were awesome, hilarious. It's
dead.
Yeah. Whether it's a Gene event in Vegas or quarantine blown through town, I always look forward to your reviews of shows and experiences. Quarantine is definitely a can't miss band when they come your way. All the guys are tremendous to interact with. I'll see them in Milwaukee in June. Look forward to another standing show. You're right, Glenn. They are fucking great. And they're good people, too. So, Ray Gallus. Love quarantine. Sadly, I was just in Boston. Few days visiting colleges in the Cambridge area.
Yep.
We left Friday for Pennsylvania. Seeing the mighty quarantine with TNZ would have been an honor. Fucking kids. Yeah, he's got some local colleges we talked about. Yesterday, Tom, I did a college tour of UMass with my kid, the first one.
Yep.
Fucking A. Colleges have changed 1,000,000%. Dude, the amount of kids on phones and all over, and yesterday was a gorgeous day. Just sitting around on laptops, headphones, in phone booths, like those quiet booth areas, in computer labs, on stairwells, on the fucking green.
There's no socialization. I know we sound like
everybody's on their fucking headsets on and AirPods and fucking on laptops or their phones.
Dude, I know. When I go to visit my son, I look around, I'm like, this is fucking pathetic. Thank God he's got a good group of friends, and his school is right in a college town. They go downtown a lot. They go to the bars and stuff. But like most of the campus, I've never seen so many kids alone on a college campus, just with their
sitting down with headsets on. Yeah, pods. Yeah. We would be fucking gorgeous day out. We'd have fucking beers out there, be playing
we used to play
wiffle ball.
Remember we used to play wiffle ball, stick ball off the back of the
and somebody throwing a football around.
Stick speakers on the window of one of the doors.
Yeah, music would be blasting. It was just unreal.
Yeah,
unreal.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ray, we hope your kid picks a good school. They look like the ones you told me you were visiting. Holy shit, must be a bright kid. Hall of Famer. Cul-de-sac community member and
Captain Cul-de-sac.
Yeah, tight slacks. Pegged pants.
Oh, boy.
Joey Romanek. I'll be playing this snippet over and over while sitting at a stoplight with my windows down. And it's Tom saying the phrase, sets coming in the rear. I was like, what the fuck is that from?
I know. I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Daniel Holler Houston adds, Shout Out Loudcast is the only place where I get both a mention of municipal waste and a discussion of Gene's Twitter at once.
There you go. That's why you tune in, my friend.
Richard Owens Jr. says, so bummed I couldn't get out to this one. So glad you all had a great time. Hopefully they come again soon. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, you should see him. You'll have fun. That's the one thing that matters. Oh, they missed this. So you'll have fun. Relax.
That's what it's all about. Yep.
Not you, but just saying people just, you can't, it's not like you can't have fun at a quarantine show. It looks like you have a blast. Charles, don't call me Mark Eaton. Do you know what happens to guys that don't like 80s Kiss? Do you know what happens to guys that like 80s Kiss but don't go to quarantine show? Well, do you? You just made the list.
Oh, yeah, old school Jericho.
Jericho brought that back the other day when he showed back up at AEW.
Oh, okay.
The great Jason Warden bummed it hasn't hit San Antonio. So great to see 80s Kiss alive and well represented. Lana Cooper with a short comment that I can read. Lucky. Sounds like a great show. I'm hoping they make it out to Philly sometime this year. It looked like a great set list. Love to see Jericho and Gene, from the sounds of it, flying the flag for non-makeup era Kiss. Those songs don't get as much love as they should. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
Thanos, Kiar. Swooping down. He swoops. He goes... He goes, John Whitley, poor guy, who's flying around barefoot right now in Australia. Hey, mate. Anybody got a pair of socks for me? They can't get around those talons of yours. Great to see Chris and the boys are performing these tunes, keeping them alive. Pity they don't come to Australia for us to see them. I saw Fozzie's other band about 2 years ago, and Chris is truly a Paul Stanley 80s type of frontman. Engages all the crowd. Energy in the room is turned up to 10. You can't ask more than that. Great show, boys. Remember, Tom, Icon Night of the Crime.
I'm not. Stop bringing them up and the other band that begins with a K. Enough.
No, if he brings it up, his feet get mentioned.
Enough. Ugh. I don't want to hear about feet, kicks, or Icon anymore. Enough.
What
There's
about
a moratorium?
200 stab wounds. We forgot about them.
Fine, bring them up.
What about Joey Romanik's pants or fucking Thanos' feet?
I don't want any of it.
They were all fucking mangled up.
Oh, stop. Jesus Christ.
Hell, mate. Thanos, I just know that it makes Tom laugh. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, it's my fault now. Yeah. You hear that, Thanos? It's my fault.
I just like making him laugh about it.
Oh, God. Hitting.
Kia! John, somebody listen again. Robert.
Welcome, new listeners.
Hey, kids. I'm on this podcast. You want to listen to my show, son? Well, what's the podcast name? Shout Out Loudcast. Okay. Dad, all I heard is about somebody's mangled feet was being discussed.
Some shit-stained love seat.
On sale on Facebook Marketplace.
We say this every week. Anytime we have a guest on, all I say is, "Oh God, poor Robert. Oh, poor fill in the blank."
It's
whoever the
Trot
guest is.
who sent us that fucking. I would think that's John Whiteman that would send us that. I'm sure Whiteman probably commented already. Oh, gee, I left a little dookie there. Sorry. I'll have to wipe it later. Speaking of Whiteman. Kudos to Quarantine for keeping the great 80s Kiss music alive. Those songs were a huge part of growing up for a lot of us. It's awesome they still possibly hear them performed by a great band. Also, the new Ace drops were hilarious. His rage in that whole interview was bumbling underneath the surface like a jack-in-the-box waiting to explode.
After Paul said that, Tommy giggles.
I don't know if he giggles. All right, Tom, let's go over to Blue Sky. Oakham Razor. Gentlemen, I had the very good fortune of being in Vegas for a business conference when Quarantine played Count Vamped. After this, I officially dubbed myself a quarantine tard. Just fantastique. The best concert I've seen in decades musically, ambrosia to my ears. E pluribus unum.
Nice. I like that.
I don't know if the best concert you've ever seen, but yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Tom, let's go over now to YouTube. Paula McKee says, awesome show. Crowd was insane.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Flood adds, hey guys, first time 200 Stab Wounds was mentioned was by Don Jameson on ARC Metallica Black album.
Wow.
That's what made him rock hard. You guys are the best. Holy fuck.
That's a That's
you
good
are
shit right there.
Yeah, you are a dedicated listener. I love Chris. He's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Wow.
Then Marty Martin adds to that, actually on a different post, but he adds, any band with a name like 200 Stab Wounds should not be allowed to play anywhere. Like, what the fuck?
Again. Here we go.
All right, I got to read this anyways. It's from DD Mad City. It finally happened. You managed to produce a show I won't bring myself to listen to.
Oh.
Chris Jericho may be a super fan and a Loudcaster Hall of Fame, but goddamn, does he butcher Kiss?
Ooh.
He's unlistenable in my opinion. The horrific porn stash is literally the cherry on the shit sandwich that is Quarantine. Love you guys. I'd rather listen to Peter's 78 solo record on repeat for the rest of my life.
So would I.
What's wrong with that? Then 1 second of that cringy Jericho dumpster fire. And then a couple other people jumped on and piled on. And then somebody named Unseen Death Force, who's great, jumped in and said, you don't have to like Jericho to listen to the episode. They hardly even talked about him. That's right. We were too busy bitching about everything.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, we get it. There are people that Chris isn't for. We get it. There are people like us that we're not for.
By the way, he listened to the episode. He's lying.
Oh yeah, everybody does.
He listened. Yeah, he listened.
Yeah, but that's okay. You don't have to like everything we do, so it's fine. So, Tom, I'm giving it back to you.
All right, let's look at Spotify. We always like to remind people you can comment directly from Spotify while you're listening to the episode, which is cool. Our buddy AJ White, Jericho has always been a class act. I'm struggling these days with people who skip stuff like this, but will pay hundreds to see a fake Paul Stanley. This is why I listen to you guys. Well, thanks, AJ. Rick Rarer says, you should definitely add Borat sound bites. Yes, I'm begging for those as well.
If you give me this job, can I put a camera in the lady toilet, please? No.
When that show came out, it was so ahead of his time.
I remember going to Zeus's apartment, and
oh my God,
when we lived near each other,
yeah,
we would go and just watch the Ali G show.
Oh my God!
And then Borat, and then Bruno, and then the movies came out, and just fucking forget it.
Would you, as a gesture? Yeah. What's he say? Hook up with him as like the fat nun,
yeah,
the fucking priest, and I find it offensive. All right, man. Hold on.
My main man, Boutros. Boutros.
He does it 3 times, and then at the end, he does it 4 times.
Yeah.
I'm here with the main man, the geezer. He goes with geezer. Boutros, golly. And the guy's just sitting there like, what the fuck?
Fucking unreal. All right, back to Spotify. Quick Gibson says, why do I still love Kiss? The first era of the original 4. This is not to say I don't like Eric Carr, Vinnie Vincent, Bruce Kulick, etc. But as a young kid, seeing the imagery and hearing the music and seeing and having some of the merch, there's nothing better. There you go. B. Peeves, this is where currently we are unlucky in Australia. I'm sure Thanos will know about this as well. But we have a promoter down here called Silverback Touring, and they were the type of company that would bring an artist like Jericho's bands out. They're currently receiving a lot of bad press over a failed Trickster tour.
Yeah. Uh-oh. It caused a lot of shit. I remember I seen PJ and them talking to us, talking about it online, and then I asked them about it too. It was not good.
Yep. Nice. Let's go over to Instagram. Chrono Karama says, great episode, great group of guys. James Neeson, author, simply says, 80s Kiss is underrated. Well, yes, it is. It really is. Let's look at a couple emails. First, we're going to start off one. We're not going to read it because he respectfully requested that we don't, but we want to give a shout out to our buddy Gino Dvorak. We did get your message, and we're thinking of you, my friend. And just know that, we read it. And again, you are a Loudcaster for life, my friend. So thoughts with you, my good friend. So thank you for that.
Yes. All the Loudcasters behind you, buddy.
Yes. And that being said, our buddy Scott Greer, what a great review of the show. Zeus, like you in the band, I enjoy Turn on the Night and have it on my boat playlist. Ooh, you have a boat, Scott? Can you host a Loudcaster cruise, maybe? It's such. Yes. That's the next thing. It's such an underrated song, and glad they recognize its greatness. If they come down to this region, I will go see them live. And then he follows with, in the back of the book segment, I came across a Facebook post of the 1979 Dynasty stop in Fort Worth. Great to see, even though the audio of King of the Nighttime World isn't great. I love those Dynasty tour clips. They're rare. Our buddy Kevin Doyen, who we actually hung out with at the quarantine show, he says, good day, fellows. I can't believe I'm doing this. And in no way, shape, or form am I telling you what to do with your show. Kevin, we know that. We love you, brother. I'm mentioning that Space Freely would love to be a guest on your show. He sent me a message after seeing our picture together at the quarantine show. I've gotten to know him a bit over the past year. That's it. I mentioned it. I'm done. Don't shoot the messenger. Kevin, we would never shoot you. We love you, my friend. And who knows? Maybe Space Freely will come on here. I don't know. He's found a niche for himself. God love him.
Is he out of his mind? I don't know what meds he's on.
Well, I'm sorry, Kevin. Ace is maybe a hard pass on that, but we'll see.
Exactly. Who knows? All right. Let's see here. We got a nice one here from Lana Cooper. Lana, we love you. That was a great one. We're not going to read that because that's a little bit of personal shouted out Loudcast business that she emailed us about. But that's okay. Tony McKay. Hello, Tom and Zeus. Been a while since I've been in touch, but I'm an avid listener and part of the Aussie Loudcaster Nation. With back-to-back episodes, you've captured why so many of us are still locked into this band after so many decades, equal parts infuriating and inspiring. But I realized something new after this last episode. It hadn't occurred to me, but you guys are exactly right. Paul and Gene never talk about their moments of excellent songwriting and the songs they've written that the world knows. You know who does, though? Desmond fucking Child and Holly fucking Knight. And I know that because they talked passionately about it on Shout It Out Loudcast. They are justifiably loud and proud about what they did for the band. I bought both of their books purely off the back of your interviews, wouldn't have known about them otherwise. So thanks for all you do. I realize from your podcast that Paul and Gene should be ashamed that they ignore their greatest achievements and that others have become the real advocates for what we love in the first place. The craft, the hooks, the magic, and the music. Long live Holly and Desmond and every single person who contributed to Raise Your Glasses. Thank you. Cheers, Tony. Well, cheers to you, Tony. Great email. Thank you.
Who is that, Tom? Tony McKegney?
Tony McKay.
So Buffalo Sabres finally made the playoffs in hockey after 15 years. That means Gary Kapp is going to come visit and come to a playoff game with me. They're playing the Bruins. I don't know. I might get Crystal Wallet to come because he's a huge Sabres fan. And we joked about it in Vegas that if the Sabres play the Bruins in the playoffs, he can come with me to a playoff game. So we'll see how that goes. So anyways, I was just thinking of Tony McKegney because of the Sabres whole thing. And but that's a great email. Thank you, Tony. And keep up the Australian Shout It Out Loudcast love. And just watch out for that flying Thanos flying around Australia.
Make sure if you have any small pets or anything, keep them secure.
Like little Yorkie dogs.
Yeah, because he'll swoop in. Yeah. All right, let's wrap up feedback here with somebody from England. Ooh. Nick John Hagen. Tom and Zeus, I'm a new listener, 52 years old from Devon, England. I absolutely love your show. You two are a fucking dynamite team. I really appreciate the work, humor, honesty, and care you put into these shows. I've had a couple of tough months, and KISS has always been a rock I can depend on since I was a teenager. With the band now retired, more or less, I have found this incredible podcast, and you have really helped me get through this period with exactly my kind of humor and kiss-tardom. I listened to the episodes on the Vegas weekend on headphones while lying in bed right next to my missus. The part about the ball sack in the toilet and the hot-ass Mongolian beef airplane incident had me in hysterics. My partner thought I was knocking one out as I was shaking next to her. Knocking one out. Wherever I fly now and someone blows 4 pounds of ass luggage in the shitter. Ass luggage. It will remind me of that episode. Can't wait for the next one. You rock, Nick Hagan. Well, Nick, you started out wonderfully, very kind and thoughtful, and then you just became a Loudcaster right in the middle of that email. We love it. Thank you. New listeners, you get our humor. Appreciate. Unfortunately, you're going through some tough times, but the best thing with tough times is laughter and friends. And if we can provide any of that to you, my friend, we love it. So thank you. And for that, you are the comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I know what you think. We're going to be watching you.
That's awesome. That's fucking hilarious.
Great. So ass luggage? I have never heard that term before. Oh, my God.
Well, I can say this. Speaking of thank yous, let's give a thank you to our Patreon family. Thank you to all those that subscribed and joined and have helped out the show, because that's exactly what Patreon does. They help us out tremendously. And the loyalty and assistance that they provide us is priceless. And we want to make sure that every time we have our episode, we give them a shout out. And you out there, you can become a Patreon member. How do you do that? You go to our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com.
Go to him.
Right on the website, there'll be a link, Patreon. You click on that. There are 4 different tiers starting as low as $3. You join, you get different perks, you get merch, you get involvement in the show, you get polls, you get the album review crew, you get the mailbag, you get the message boards, you get the video chats, which the Demon one is coming up soon.
Yes.
And all that and much, much more. So if you want to help the show, you want to give us a hand and be part of the Patreon family, please go to patreon.com, go to our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com, find Shout It Out Loudcast, and become a Patreon member today. Thank you to all those that are members, even some that, something comes up and they come back. Let's a big shout out to our buddy Frank, who we love.
Yep.
Frank is a loud and proud Shout It Out Loudcast Patreon family member. So all those out there, thank you guys. And if you're out there, want to help us out, join our Patreon family. Thanks.
Guys, you're the best. Thank you so much for everything you do. All the support, the generosity continues to help our show grow and just expand on everything that we've done and everything that we can give back to you. So please check us out. Click on the link on our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com. Download the app, search for us, and please join the family. And again, thank you to all of our wonderful patrons.
Tom, we're going to go to Kiss World. So the fact that we're recording Thursday kind of helped us out a little bit because there was some news drop. But let's get a couple quick things out of the way. One I want to discuss is real quick is Paul put up, I think it was a reel or a short or something of his new appearance coming up at Wentworth Gallery. He's got one coming up. He does all that shit. But what I found funny about this, and I was going to post it, but it was late, and I'm like, fuck it. He has like a isolated vocal track of him singing Love Gun.
Why?
And it's glorious. It's great.
Yeah.
But in the last 20 years,
I was just going to say, well, that's what I'm saying. Why is he doing that?
It's just,
it's
just one of those things. And so now we also have the feedback and stuff from the Indie Expo that just happened. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I mean, we saw a lot of pictures, a lot of Loudcasters posted stuff. Looked like everybody had a great time. Paul got up and sang. Small, tiny environment for him to sing. So
Brutal.
he did.
I'm sorry, brutal.
Yeah, well, I know. You didn't let me finish, but go ahead. It was brutal.
No, I mean, let him to sing.
And the fact that that is a small, hotel function room, for lack of a better term, the fact that you can't even carry your note there, brutal.
It wasn't. So when I'm saying brutal, I'm not even saying about his performance there. However, there's so many facets of it.
Right.
First of all, you're the star child. You're supposed to be one of the leading fronts. He acted as though he was a high school student that got asked to sing in front of an auditorium.
Yep.
No fucking confidence whatsoever.
Why do you think that is?
And he does that every time on the KISS cruise and stuff. This isn't perfect.
Yeah.
We're going to give this a try because he knows people videotape it and there's no tracks.
Yep.
You make it so obvious that it's all tracks when you do sing in those live performances because you don't act that way. You don't say anything about it.
Yep.
But when it's anything that you can't do tracks, everything has to have that preface right up front. Don't judge too hard. This is hard. Dude, it was okay, but you could tell he was putting everything into singing those a couple verses, and that you're like, if this is a concert, there's no way his voice is lasting throughout the whole fucking concert. He was trying. You can tell, and God bless him. You just don't have it, Paul. That's fine. Do whatever you did there. I'm not giving him shit for that. It is what it is. He's 70-something years old. I don't care.
You think he gives a shit? He doesn't care that much because fucking KISS Cruise Landlocked in Vegas was just announced. So he doesn't give a shit that he can't
I give
sing.
a shit? Yeah, I think he gives a shit because he's still fucking insecure about his voice. And if you think those concerts aren't going to have backing tracks, you're fucked.
Well, that's my point. He's not insecure enough to not do KISS Cruise in Vegas.
Yeah, because he's got fucking help to do those, but he can't do anything else that's live.
Right.
That's the shit that fucking gets me. We're not stupid, dude. Just do it the best you can.
Yes,
have a female singer up there helping you. Have something else.
No, he's not going to do that because that just shines the light that he can't do it. He'd rather just get up there and not do it.
So you're 70 now years old now.
I know.
Next year you're 72. You want some help? We want to get some help and make the sound so better. Hey, I'm 70 years old. Who the fuck is going to give him shit for that?
Honestly, I would. I would rather.
I wouldn't.
I would. No one wants to see a legend up there with somebody helping them sing.
Right.
I would never.
Fucking everybody does that. Look at Robert Plant. Robert Plant doesn't sing by himself up there.
Yeah, but that's because he's doing duets. He doesn't have somebody helping him.
He's not doing duets singing.
Sure, he does. When he's performing with those females, whether it's Alison Krauss or whoever,
Ramble On. Who's the duet partner in Ramble On?
Right, but what I'm saying is it's not portrayed as help. It's portrayed as a co-performance. Paul's never going to do that.
There's no co-performance. He just did Ramble On, and everyone said,
I saw it.
He didn't sing that alone. He had a female helping him out. What's wrong with that?
But it's not portrayed as Paul because Robert Plant has been singing with Alison Krauss for years, so having a female next to him is something that we're accustomed to. Paul has never stood next to anybody and sang except for Gene.
The other day, our friend Steve Brown is doing that Bon Jovi fucking cover band he's doing. He's got two females helping him out sing songs. Why? Bon Jovi, those are solos. John's the only one singing it. Richie comes in on choruses. He doesn't come in on the verses. He's got females helping him. Why not? I don't think that's bad.
My point is Paul would never, ever do it. He would never do it. And you know that if
you think it's not worse than saying, dude, we're not stupid. You're obviously using tracks then. And when you're not using tracks, it's so clear. Get some fucking help and just nobody will give you shit. Because then people will think, oh, yeah, for a couple years in the back, he had some help. But now he's doing this. He has help from these guys and everybody else. Nobody's going to give him shit for that. You are fucking 70-some years old. I'd respect them for that.
Because people would rather hear a struggling Paul than hear Paul sing with a female in Detroit Rock City. No one wants to hear that. No, I don't want to hear that.
I do. I'd rather see that and hear that at this point than fucking him like like you can tell he's struggling. He can't. There's
Right.
no way he could do a whole fucking concert. He could barely, and he was just like, "Okay, I'm done. One verse." They're like, "No, sing more." And he's like looking like a fucking high school kid having to sing the national anthem. Like,
right. Which is exactly why when they get to Vegas, it's going to be assisted, which is fine. Which is fine. I don't even fucking care about that. I don't. I know there are people out there that lose their mind over tracks. I don't care. It's entertainment. I don't care. I don't need everything to be authentic and bare bones and real. I'm there to be entertained, whether it's wrestling or a fucking Star Wars movie or a Kiss concert. I don't need it to be real. I do enough shit in my real life that if I hear Kiss or a band and there's backing tracks or accentuated vocals, it's part of the entertainment. I don't give a fuck. And these people
do. At this point, I do.
care.
When I see him struggling like that, dude, just have some fucking self-respect and have somebody help you sing. We're not fooled.
He is having somebody help him sing. He's having somebody electronically help him sing, which I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But anyways, that was our Paul Stanley segment. I guess everybody enjoyed Indie Kiss Expo, whatever. Eric Singer was there, John Karabi, bunch of guys, pictures, merch, memorabilia, whatever. It looked like it was
everybody there get a fucking Hep C fucking shot after Jepsen's making out with everybody.
Oh, Jepsen licking people left and right. God.
Giggity, 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 giggity.
Oh, fucking gross. And I think Tom Selleck is still putting posts up of photos.
His camera hasn't stopped. It's on auto shutter or something. We love that guy.
Yeah.
And then, but segue into the big news, which was today, that the Kiss cruise landlocked in Vegas is official. As I predicted, they're never getting on a fucking boat ever again. It's never going to happen. They don't care. Because like Zeus said, why do we have to? Or how do you phrase it? Why don't
it's
you
not
get on a
important
boat?
for them to get on a boat.
Thank you. That's the term. Why don't you get on a boat? Because it's not important for me to get on a boat.
Yeah. Why do you get that wrong? It's not important for me to get it right.
Exactly. So if
why do you treat the Kiss fans like shit? It's not important for me to treat them right.
Right. So if you went last year, you'll get a special email for a pre-sale. Sign up for notifications. Blah blah blah. All it says is November 13th and 15th, Virgin Hotel. Same thing. 2 unmasked shows with Gene, Paul, Tommy, and Eric, Q&As, activities, same thing. Oh, signed poster.
Didn't we get that last time?
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking.
Oh.
So yeah,
get a poster. I got a little marinara sauce on it.
No other details of anything other than that it's been announced. That's it.
All right. I got to jump on one quick thing.
Please.
Our good buddy Glenn Barth, who was there with us last time, jumped on. It's like, so you made the announcement, and it's the same old shit. And a loudmouth that we're friends with and not so much friends with, depends on what kind of a mood we're all in, jumps on him, says, "Oh, you're going to jump on it for shit they haven't even announced yet?" Yeah, but they're about to sell the tickets.
Right.
That's why he's making the fucking point.
Yep.
And Glenn is absolutely right. So you're going to do the same thing. Buy your tickets now. Fear of missing out. You got to get it. Well, what's going to be there? What's going to be different? Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah. And we know it's going to be there. It's going to be the exact same thing. And that's great. Look, let me preface it by saying, if this is how you want to spend your money, and before Zeus and I started recording, we did a little bit of math. The amount of money we spend on landlocked in Vegas compared to the cruise is so painfully embarrassing that it's offensive how much money we spend on Vegas as opposed to the cruise.
Yeah, and I just always wonder by some Kiss fans that, monetarily they're struggling. The economy sucks right now. If you thought it was bad before, what are the airline tickets going to be with the fucking gas the way it is right now? What are the fucking hotel rooms going to be like? Food cost and stuff like that. You're looking at a more expensive fucking trip. Are you going to get more? I highly doubt it. You ain't getting more. As usual, Kiss, if whatever they start with, they start taking away shit and making it less fucking glamorous, less inclusive, less opportunities and stuff they're going to give you. They're going to take away shit. Who's going to be there? And I'm sorry. I know this is fucking...
Go ahead.
Bad, but like it's going to be the same fucking band playing the same fucking Cold Gin for the 100 millionth time.
Yep. And then
the other same bands, the same cover bands, the same buddies. And I like Bruce and his band and stuff. How many times do I need them to fucking play Tears Are Falling?
Right. You're going to have the same supporting bands. You're going to have some version of Quiet Riot or some version of Vixen, some version of Rat,
Trickster, Quarantine, Sebastian Bach.
You'll have like Cooking with Paul. You'll have Family Feud with Tommy Thayer.
Pick the snot out of fucking Eric's nose. All sorts of fucking Slip the Pickle. Like
you'll have
all sorts of games.
You'll have Mr. Speed, the cover band, and the big thing. And I don't think we're really maybe me. I won't speak for you. But I think I underestimated how important it is on the cruise to have those drink and meal packages all inclusive. The amount of fucking money that we spent in Vegas on meals. If you wanted to eat or drink anything, you had to pay out of pocket. Not a sip or a bite of anything was included in that Vegas package.
So that's just one of the things.
Now, maybe they'll add that this year. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Maybe they'll add that this year. Maybe they'll include meal packages. I don't know.
I don't know when they're putting the tickets on sale, but it's the same thing that usually happens. There is a fucking cult of kiss tards that I don't care what they're fucking doing are going to fucking sell out in the first 2 minutes.
It's happening right
tier
now
one,
on social
tier
media.
Two is going to be sold out immediately.
Yep.
Everyone that we know and friends and all this other kiss tards out there, in the footy pajama fucking mouthpieces. Oh, gotta jump. You gotta go. Yep. They're all going to jump on it and stuff and get it. And then they're going to be fucking silenced for months. And then they're going to announce, we've got fucking Bango Tango joining us sooner or later. And then they're going to start dropping bands and stuff. And you're going to be like, okay, that guy's pretty good. Oh, this fucking idiot. Come and hang out with Chips Enough. Wander the halls with him.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's true. But you know what? You shouldn't be complaining. These are going to end up being your clients because you're a bankruptcy attorney. So you shouldn't be complaining. You should be encouraging everybody.
All right, let's look at your inventory. You got any collectibles? Well, I got these Kiss bottle caps. What's that worth? Well, if I go on Kiss online or if I go to a KLA, I can sell them for $4,000. What's anybody normally going to pay? Nothing. They're worthless.
Nothing. Excuse me, sir. Is this looks like you peeled this off the wall of the lobby of the Virgin Hotel?
Yeah, buddy Ryan did that.
Yeah, of course. But it's got.
I just saw him post about it recently that he was able to finally plaster it in his basement. The fucking shit that he ripped off the elevators from there, and we saw him as we were walking out. Remember? God bless the guy.
Yeah, we love him. But we love him. But dude, you're wallpapering your kid's bedroom, the interior of the Virgin Hotel.
Yeah, but it drives me nuts. So off the top, I'm like, okay, my hockey season doesn't start till December 1st, so I could do it. I don't really want to do it. And I'm not looking. Usually what these things happen is me convincing Tom to do it. I'm not even going to probably attempt it.
Well, because I'm going to be in Vegas the week before to see Metallica at the Sphere. What am I going to quit my job and move to Vegas to go see Metallica and Kiss every November?
Yeah.
So
yeah, so I'm not. So we're going to tell you off the bat, straight up. Most likely, we aren't going.
Right.
If anything, I'd prefer to do the Gene event in September. That looks like a lot more fun. But even that,
everything is just becoming repetitive, and I know we sound like cranky old men. I'm sorry, and I guess there's a flip side of that is that we've been blessed to have been able to go to all these things. We did the Gene Vegas dinner. We've been on cruises. We've been to Landlocked in Vegas. We've done these events, Creatures Fest, etc. They're great events.
Okay, so take away the friends that we have and the time we had with them.
Yes.
As a show, did we need to be there? As a show, as a podcast.
No. Not at all. We didn't go to Indie Kiss Expo.
I mean,
we didn't go to that.
We zipped through then we saw Kiss perform. They did fucking Shout It Out Loud. They did Cold Gin. Okay, then we saw Rat. Rat was awesome. Yeah, that was a good time.
I told you, I'd rather get the core together and book a cruise to Jamaica or something than do this fucking thing.
Exactly. So, I mean, I just, I know Trot will end up going because
he'll get hoodwinked into it.
He can't help it. He's friends with all those footy pajama idiots. And Gary will probably end up going. Tally was already DMing. I'm like, I ain't fucking going. She's like, I don't know if I want to go either. So I don't know if she's going. Jepsen will be there. And then, what else? Like, I'm sorry. What I loved is Tally put it up on our page, Loudcaster's page, about the announcement. And I would say about 75% of the people were like, yeah, I'm all good. I'm all set.
Okay.
Versus
Go ahead.
Footy Pajamas, who are mouthpieces for KISS, and it's all positive.
Yep.
Here you go. Yes. Yeah, rock on. Whatever the fuck the corny thing that they say. Can't wait. Yeah, or like, let's go. Oh, okay.
Right.
It's like, that's them, and this is us. I'm sorry. And it's okay to be them, and it's okay to live in fantasy world. But to me, this is just like, give us a second to breathe, huh?
But you made a good point. We talk about this every year. Like, these trips are not cheap.
No,
they're not cheap.
How the fuck do most of these morons afford all this?
You know what though? I say the same thing. When my son was younger, my mom lives in Florida. When my son was younger, my mom lived near Disney. We would take my son to the parks. My mom lived in Florida. We could get discounted park tickets, but they were still through the roof. We would walk through Disney and see families, 2, 3, 4 kids. Like, God bless you guys. Don't look like you have 2 nickels to rub together. How the fuck are you in Disney right now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, it's just, there's got to be other ways to spend your disposable income. And if you are lucky enough to have a large amount of disposable income, then go. And if you being surrounded by KISS world is your thing, fine. I just want more. And I guess Zeus and I are cut from a different cloth because we've done all this and it gets repetitive. And I'm not going to lie. As much as I loved Vegas last year, 3 days, I was ready to go. I was ready to go home. I'm like, I've done it. I've had enough. And it was only 3 days and I was ready to go.
Yeah. I always find that the second time we do things like that, it's better because you don't waste time. So if we went, let's say this year, we wouldn't waste time like trying to figure out
You mean have an easy to find a restaurant for you?
Fucking moron. Like things like that.
No,
like,
I know what you mean.
Like, the lay of the land, where your rooms are, where the foods are, where you're going to go.
Like that, yeah.
The second time we went on the cruise was so much better.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
And if we went to Vegas again, it would be easier for us to navigate and all that other stuff.
Maybe.
But once I get around my friends, like, okay, these are other people that are fans of KISS. Okay.
Right.
Like, I'm not spending that kind of money to hang out with people I don't know, really, or whatever. It's great to see Loudcasters and things like that.
It was.
But realistically, I'm not spending that kind of fucking money for the same shit to listen to Cold Gin again.
In between the actual tickets, the package, the Vibe package, combined with the price of airfare, which is through the roof, and we live on the East Coast, so we have to fly cross country. And then the fact that food and drink and everything is not included. Again, I know they did a survey last year and they were asking about that in the survey. Maybe they'll offer that, but even if they do, it's probably just going to be that additional upcharge. So even if it's included, quote unquote, you're still paying for it.
You know what I mean? Everything's expensive in Vegas.
Of course it is. It's brutal. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the problem too with all this stuff. And it just, it doesn't lend itself. So I can go walk into the fucking Paul's painting store and get treated like shit. Hey, if you don't pay anything for $4,000, get the fuck out. Like, like I don't need
Or I can wake up at 7:00 in the morning to get in the merch line to make sure I get the shirt of the day before they're sold out and put on eBay. I can do that.
Yeah. It's fucking painful.
Yeah, it is
painful and difficult to be a KISS fan.
And there's a piece of me too, as much as I expected this, there's a piece of me that's a little disappointed because I don't, it's like Charlie Brown with the football. Like every once in a while, I'm like, you know what? Maybe they will. Yeah, maybe they'll do something a little different. They're gonna do something, and that's why I think the landlocked in Vegas. We're like, oh, okay, this is different. 3 days, let's see, and we had a good time. I'm not doing it again. I'm just not doing it again for that amount of money.
Once again, thanks for putting it in the most expensive fucking place in the United States.
Yep.
In a time of financial difficulties for everybody. Go fuck yourself. This is where we live. We're going to be here. Why don't you have it in Nashville?
I was
why
just
don't you
going
have
to
it in
say,
Florida? Why don't you have it in New York? Why don't you have it fucking elsewhere?
Why does it have to be Vegas? Why Vegas?
Because they live there and they fucking make everything easy for themselves.
But that's which is exactly why I said they was never going to be a boat, because Paul and Gene and the guys, they can swoop in, do the show, and then go home and sleep in their own bed. And I don't blame them. They're in their 70s. They've earned that. But it doesn't mean that I have to like it.
Oh, Jesus. It sounds like, you're getting a little overreactive to this.
I'm hurt.
Things that we can do for you.
I'm very hurt.
I'm getting very overreactive. Very overreactive
Know,
today.
Tom. And it comes back to this.
A lot of people ask why. Why treat the customer this way? Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
One of the MVP quotes of Shout It Out Loudcast.
So one of the things I'm thinking about is like, would I rather they do this every year or just not do it? Part of me is like, you know what? Let them do it, because there are people that love this and people will enjoy it.
And it's something to talk about. Maybe something will happen that makes like a fun story. I'd rather them do it, I think. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I just wish that they would, like you said, hey, this year, Kiss Cruise landlocked in Nashville. Kiss Cruise landlocked in Miami. I wish they would do that, but they're not going to. And again, the guys they've earned that right to stay in their hometown. I get it. It's fine.
Fuck off.
Exactly. Poor Robert Conte.
All right, let's save that comment. But before we do anything, let's take our quick little break.
Stop. Don't talk anymore. I've been looking at the... Hello?
Well, Tom, let's bring him in. That's the great Robert V. Conte.
So our guest this week is a returning guest, the ultimate KISStorian, the KISS catalog consultant himself. We're going to talk about so many different things like we did last time with him. The great Robert V. Conte joins us once again. Robert, welcome back to Shout It Out Loudcast, my friend.
Thank you guys so much. It's always a pleasure to, not only to be on the show, but whenever I have an opportunity to speak to you guys, wherever, on the phone, at the convention, whatever it is, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's start off right here. So it's funny. I was looking, I think it was almost 2 years, I believe, to the day or close to it, that we had you on here the last time. It was April. I think it was April of 24, if I recall correctly. I'm sure our listeners will correct me if I'm wrong.
Wow.
But
2 years already. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Time
you should be coming back yearly, Robert. Not every 2 years.
Exactly.
It should be a yearly occurrence.
That's awesome.
But what I want to say is just to, for new listeners, if you can just quickly kind of refresh our listeners with the whole theory of you being deemed the KISS catalog consultant, and then we'll talk about your what your specific involvements were.
Sure. Okay. Well, back in the 1980s, when Mercury Polygram, well, actually, first let me backtrack. In the early 1980s, Casablanca Records and Filmworks was taken over by Polygram, and then in the mid 1980s, they started re-releasing all the KISS vinyls and cassettes. And when they were doing that stuff, they were just basically raping and butchering the catalog. They just didn't care. It was just so obvious. I had this unique situation where the mall I would go to regularly, there was a Woolworths in there that sold the original pressings of records, for, they were cutouts most of the time, but, they were like $3-4. Then you go into Record World or Tape World, Record and Tape World, and they have the newer versions at full price, So I started noticing as I was buying KISS records, and then, my grandmother would bring home KISS records for me too. The pressings were just changed, and not in a good way. For instance, Alive and Alive 2, the booklets were gone. In the case of Alive 2, the tattoos were gone. All the inner sleeves and the order forms, all that stuff was just disappeared. All those goodies that made it cool to buy KISS records. So one of the final straws is when I bought I wanted to replace my copy of Dynasty, And then all of a sudden I see a barcode printed on the back cover. The quality of the paper they used for the sleeves was just crap compared to the original one. And then when I opened it up and there was no poster, and they got rid of the picture label, it was that very faded Casablanca record label. Yep. I said, "Oh boy, this is it." But what made me really, go crazy was when I replaced my copy of the first Kiss record, went home to listen to it, and all of a sudden the live "Nothing to Lose" starts. That was taken from the live. And then it went back to the studio album, and I just said, what kind of incompetency is going on over there, And regular outreach to Polygram, to the KISS Army, various letters, and so on and so forth. Eventually, I got the opportunity to give my report. I typed up a report, gave it to Gene and Paul at a Towers record signing in 1993 when they were there promoting KISS Alive. And that's how it started. Next thing I know, I got to talk to people within the band, everybody from, Jess Hilson, who was one of their business guys at the time, the guy who ultimately was Paul's psychiatrist, Larry Mazer. That's a whole story. Yeah. Larry Mazer, people at the record label. And then Gene offered me the role of being the KISS catalog consultant to help remaster and repackage all the CDs and cassettes. And let me tell you guys, dream of a lifetime. And it was the perfect time for that too. When you, in hindsight, looking back on how the music industry worked at the time as compared to today.
Yeah. And we talked about last time. We talked about you wanted the best, that compilation, and I know we'll get into that a little bit, but I know we're just on the heels of the 29th anniversary of Greatest Kiss. I have the official vinyl that came out. I believe it was for the 25th anniversary. This is the Galaxy Gray or Silver vinyl, whatever. You're in the inside of it. KISS catalog consultant Robert V. Conte. This compilation, Zeus and I have reviewed this one.
Oh, this was a ton of fun.
So, but this one stands out because, as we all know, KISS has put out a billion different compilations. This one stands out because it's quite unique with some of the song selections. This has Plaster Caster, Flaming Youth, Two Sides of the Coin, Sure Knows Something, Going Blind, Christine 16, those are songs that you really didn't hear on other compilations. It was pretty much the standard stuff, and then maybe you might get like a Tears Are Falling or a Heavens on Fire or whatever. What was your involvement in this, and what was the concept behind this? I know it came on the heels of the reunion. It was released in '97.
Right. So interestingly enough, this was also the first KISS record, that you might remember if you go back to the 90s. Almost all international releases were the same, with exception of maybe Japan. Japan would always throw an extra track or two on a CD during that time, for whatever reason. I think it was to make sure people bought that version in that country. There's a whole legal thing behind it. We're not going to get into that today. But, someone at Mercury decided one day, hey, let's do another compilation album that we can make the tracks different in each territory, and it'll be an ultimate collector's item, and everybody go crazy trying to find this thing and blah blah blah. And since KISS is going to do Europe, let's put it out in Europe first, and then we'll do it in America the following year. And this was around the time that we had finished remastering the CDs. They weren't out yet. It was basically like, oh, okay, let's use the remastered versions of these songs for the first time on Greatest Kiss. So in theory, it was like, oh, wow, that's a great idea, so on and so forth, right? So you might remember an album called You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best that preceded Greatest Kiss.
Yes.
And expectations for that record were much higher than what actually occurred as far as sales, as far as fan response and things, and the reasons why. Mm-hmm. So when Greatest Kiss came about, I'll never forget. There was a girl that worked in the woman that worked in the marketing department, and she came to me one day and she goes, "Oh, we're thinking about doing another compilation." Now at this time, I was dead set against it. I was like, you know what? We have double platinum, which to me at the time was like, if you have double platinum, what else do you need with the original band unless you want to do a second disc? So then I said, well, what's the possibility of doing something like a double platinum 2? In other words, re-release double platinum, but add a third disc to it or add additional songs, that way. But then there was some legal issue with the fact Sean Delaney remixed double platinum from beginning to end. There was some issues with that legally, and I was basically told at some point, drop double platinum, let's think about something else. Now, up to that point, we had double platinum, then we had Killers, which was only available, in Europe and Japan at the time. That was basically a 4-song EP with, the extra hits added as a bonus. Then we had Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. Take that for what it's worth. Yep. So then all of a sudden, the You Want the Best, You Got the Best was the live compilation, and now we've got Greatest Kiss. So the curveball that first happened with this, there was a UK division of Polygram called Polygram TV, and they put out their own Kiss Greatest Hits album. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It has a white cover.
Yep.
And it has the photograph of that was given out at the Intrepid press conference in '96.
Yep.
We had nothing to do with that. I literally went into the office one day and looked at my mailbox, and there was a comp CD in there for me, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I said the first song on a Makeup Kiss compilation Greatest Hits is Crazy Crazy Nights. Who the hell is putting this crap together? What is wrong with you people? Doesn't anybody understand anything? And then the American marketing department said, hold on, you don't understand. Crazy Nights, was a top 10 song in England. Yeah. So that's why it opens with that. I said, but do you understand that, two members of that that are on the cover had nothing to do with that song, and that was non-Makeup Kiss, which you guys told us to stay away from. Don't even address non-Makeup Kiss anymore. And all of a sudden, you're doing this. And I'll never forget one of the girls from I keep saying girls. I'm sorry. One of the women from Polygram UK TV division called me. And, she's like, oh, Robert, well, let's think about it this way. Would if a Deep Purple album came out with just the Ian Gillan songs and not the David Coverdale songs or anything else, wouldn't that upset you? And I said, it's funny you mentioned Deep Purple. In the States, there was an album called The Very Best of Deep Purple that was Gillan and Coverdale. But you know what? Their biggest hit up till, Smoke on the Water and stuff was a song called Hush, and they totally didn't even include that on that record, because everybody forgot about the original.
And their lead singer was different. That was that Rod. Is it Evans? Some of that was the original singer.
Yeah, right. So exactly. Ian Gillan didn't sing Hush on the album, right?
No. And that's a cover, by the way.
Yeah. So, I hate to tell you this, lady, but your analogy is totally off. So anyway, so then we found out, okay, Australia is going to do a Greatest Kiss. It's going to be European, Australian. Then there's going to be a Japanese version. Then we'll do an American version. So I was told originally this was going to be like a 20-track album, if I remember correctly. I think 20 or 22, something like that. So I was given these various track lists, as potential consideration. And I would look through them and I'd say, what are you talking about? Why would you even suggest this? Why don't you use this? Why don't you use this? When they first told me about Greatest Kiss for Australia, I said, well, you definitely have to put Shandy on there because that was a big hit over there. You got to put Shandy,
that song
right?
Is terrible.
Oh. You know what? We don't like it, okay? But you know what?
Oh, good. At least you agree with me, buddy.
Yeah.
But I know it's a hit there. But
yeah, it's a hit, right? So I made my notes. Okay, Shandy should be here, so on and so forth. Because for the Australian market, for the European market, you want to do this. For the American market, you want to do that. But I did raise my concerns. I said, listen, you're going to have a lot of people that own double platinum, own Killers, own Smashes Thrashes, and they're going to feel compelled to have to buy something that maybe their hearts are not into. Right. You know, so try to let's see if we can get some deep cuts in there. And I submitted a list, and I think maybe out of my list they may have taken 3 songs, but this is where it gets crazy. One of the people involved, I think he was one of the producers, he calls me on the phone and he goes, "Robert, what was that Ace song that hit, that was in Australia and Europe?" And I'm like, "Oh, Talk to Me?" He goes, yeah, that's it. Okay, thanks, man. Bye. Like, okay. So then when the marketing department releases their press release about Greatest Kisses coming with the track list, Talk to Me was accidentally replaced with Two Sides of the Coin.
No.
And I said so I called the guy that called me.
That's
and
amazing.
I said, "You know what?" I said, "Do you guys pay attention?" I said, "I told you the song was Talk to Me." And I said, "It was on Unmasked." I said, "What made you pick Two Sides of the Coin?" He's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I just looked at the first song that had started with the letter T."
No.
Are you crazy?
Okay.
Are you crazy?
That is amazing.
Are you crazy?
Quality control over there, huh?
Yeah, there's no QC. And I'll tell you why. You got to remember something. Okay, there were like 3 tiers of people at Mercury Polygram, right? Now, if you guys, going back to the 90s, mid-90s, hip hop R&B was like dominating the charts back then, right?
Sure.
And then you had the end of grunge. KISS, especially because of the sales, you wanted the best, you got the best. There were people that just did not care about the band. Right. To them it was like a pain in the ass eyesore they had to deal with. Right. They would rather put their efforts into Joan Osborne or other artists that were on the Mercury Polygram repertoire, right? Yeah. So it always felt like an uphill battle. It always felt like that. So when I saw the two sides of the coin on the track listing, I said, "You know what? Why are you even in this position where you can make these kind of decisions?" Like I said, you don't care. You don't know what you're talking about. You're always calling me to get advice on what to do. And then you make decisions and you don't even hear me. You don't even listen. I said, so because you just looked at a T letter, that's why Two Sides of the Coin got picked instead of Talk to Me? What is wrong with you?
They could have picked Torpedo Girl. That has a T also.
Can I tell you something? Exactly. And the thing was, because what preceded that in the conversation was, he says to me, "We got to have at least one Ace vocal song." I was like, "Oh, shock me. Oh no, what else you got? What else you got?" So I'm like, "Okay, well, let's New York Groove, right? New York Groove. Oh, that's on his solo album. We can't use that because that means we got to use other things from other solo albums." I'm like, the thought process. Again, when you're dealing with a team of people that are assigned to the same project,
right,
and as the KISS fan, what you feel is the best, and you're dealing with people that KISS is just one of many things on their plate, and they're not necessarily interested. It's not their heart and soul is not in that. Their heart and soul is in other projects. KISS was looked at as a group from the past. It wasn't looked at as a modern day group like Blind Melon or Alice in Chains or that kind of stuff.
Right.
So those people I worked with, that's where their interests were. So it was very difficult to deal with that. The other thing I noticed was that when they released, okay, the European tracks are this, no Shandy. Okay, all right. The Japanese listing comes out, and they're both 20 tracks apiece, but they're a little different. They're not exactly the same. And then the American version only has 16 tracks.
Yep.
And I'm like, what's going on here, guys? Come on, And again, that was legal reasons, and they wouldn't tell me everything, and it is what it is. But that Two Sides of the Coin on the American version sticks with me to this day. It's just KISS fans over the years will mail me or reach out to me on social media and say, "Why did you pick that?" or "Why was that picked?" And I said, "There's a whole story with that." So the world now knows the first. Yeah, exactly. So,
Robert, I wanted to bring up one fact about this. Ace would say this, but
a lot of KISS fans aren't the brightest people in the world.
Oh, jeez.
But
okay.
but I would attribute that to the people you were working with. However, when Tom and I reviewed this, we had no idea this backstory.
No.
And we're like, okay, let's just review a compilation. This would be an easy episode. And next thing you know, we're like, what the hell? There's like 4 versions here. There's a Mexican version too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the Mexican version is misprinted. The track listing printed on the Mexican version is not correct.
So Tom and I not only are like doing like, oh, what should have been on a compilation like this? Now we're doing what's the best of these 4? Well, this one has that album. Well, this has this song. This has this song. It was a cluster. We were like, popsicle headache. I can only imagine you dealing with this and being like, who's making these decisions? Because the Australian and European version, I don't see Shandy on there.
No. There's no Shandy on there. And
they screwed up.
And there's no Ace. There's no Ace song other than really Shock Me, which is on that.
One of them has Shock Me. Right.
Yeah, but it should have had one of the songs from Unmasked on there if it's going to Australia.
Right, because Talk to Me was one of the songs that was heavily promoted over there.
Yeah.
So it's really that was.
And then how did God Gave Rock and Roll to You get on one of the albums?
It's on the vinyl. When they re-released the 25th anniversary vinyl, they put God Gave Rock and Roll to You on it as well.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So actually, I think you just solved the mystery to me. By the way, despite my repeated requests to Universal and Pop House, they haven't even had the decency to send me a comp of that record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that record was released in 2014. They sent me one, for the KISStory box set. They did send me one for that.
Yes.
But this version that they did a picture disc and this version and that version, I sent them a letter saying, hey, I worked on this. Would you be kind and send me a comp? Ghosted, totally ignored. That's the way.
1995.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's the way
Venmo
us at polygramrecords.com.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was half expecting an email. So sorry, sold out. Too bad.
Yeah, basically, we don't give a shit about KISS. They're not with us anymore. So good luck. Have at it.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But let me tell you something else that's funny.
Yeah,
okay, so if for the KISS streamers out there, you guys that love to stream and don't listen to physical media, Spotify has the 20-track European version, right? And then what Apple iTunes did was they amalgamated all the versions into one stream.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, so iTunes has all 24 tracks.
Oh, that's cool.
But
okay.
Yeah. So
so they don't have duplicates.
20.
They don't have Cold Chant 4 times or something like that.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I've been trying to get those CDs. I have the European Australian version, obviously the American version. I've been trying to find the Mexican version, the Japanese version. I've had a little difficulties because I still collect. I get CDs. I'm not a vinyl guy.
Right.
And now I find CDs are harder to find than vinyl. And that's what I'm looking for to complete the collection, just to have the different tracks and just to have the physical product.
It's one of those things where, again, the idea of the multi international versions having different tracks, it was a cool concept if it was done right. Do I think it was done right? No, I do not. No. And the other, and politics in the record business at the time was at an all-time high. And this was also the first KISS album that we received the artwork for the front cover in advance. So, and Spiro did what's Spiro's last name?
Papadopoulos.
I don't want to say it the wrong.
There's another Greek guy right away when you say Spiro.
He's the one. He's Gene. He looks exactly like Gene.
Oh yeah. I've met Spiro a few times over the years, but I don't want to say his name incorrectly. But so anyway, Spiro sent, the KISS sent in the artwork for the front cover and said, this is what we're using. Spiro designed it to go with that. Now that pissed off the Mercury art department because they were like, wait a minute, we designed the covers. We this is what we do. Well, you're using this one. Okay. Now I thought the cover was beautiful. I really did. Spiro's cover is beautiful.
I like it.
The only critique I had was that they decided to use a photo that was a little blurry. If you look at it, And I'm saying to myself, okay, on CD, because at the time, Greatest Kiss was never supposed to come out on vinyl. You know, like I said, the first time I hit vinyl was 2014.
Yep.
So my concern back then was, okay, these photos are a little blurry, and there's so much great live photos in the art department. Can't we replace these 4 photos with, you know, crisper, sharper, more colorful photos for each character? We certainly have plenty.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, we did a deal with the photographer already. Too late. I'm like, okay. So that hurt the morale of the company inside. You know, the art department was like, well, if that's the way it's going to be, then we'll just, throw together everything else. And if you look at the inside, especially the CD, Zeus, if you look at the CD, I mean, look at the amount of effort that went into that design,
And by the way, his name is Anagnostopoulos. Good luck. Even I have a hard time saying it.
Okay.
Anagnostopoulos. Anagnostopoulos in Greek.
And
that's how I would say it.
The back cover has an awesome Destroyer era live shot.
Oh yeah, that was
it's super
we got
cool.
that from Barry Levine's archive.
Yeah,
that was around the time I published the Barry Levine book. So when they were looking for a good back cover, I said, "Oh, here's the perfect image. Here it is, right here." All 4, 1976, beautiful.
Speaking of books, Robert, let's talk about. I know we've been working on this for a while. I'm not sure if it has a title, but you're working on a book that you wanted that you want to talk about. Tell us what's going into this, what it's about, and is there an anticipated release date for this project?
Okay, so my new website is KISSfanforever.com.
Okay.
The 3 words, no space.
Yep.
KISSfanforever.com. And it's basically a questionnaire about what the fans want to read about in the book based on my dealings with the band and my experience and everything. I've been getting a lot of requests for various things. So I want to hear from the fans, exactly. What do you want me to talk about? Because there's so much minutia. There's so much minutia. I want it to be a cohesive memoir / biography of what I worked on with the band and my experiences working in the music business, and then my publishing company, Studio Chikara, and all the different things I did during my time working with KISS and my interactions with each of the members and stuff. But the thing is, every time I come up with a draft, it's like it's too much to read. I have to cut stuff. So part of it also is that I wanted to release this book years ago, but then COVID happened. Life gets in the way.
Yeah.
My kids grew up. So many things going on. But now I've been working on this book nonstop for the last several months, and it seems like the more I write, the more I want to talk about. Like this Greatest Kiss story. I mean, I have to reliving this stuff. Just puts me in this like mental. I mean, it's hard to believe it's 29 years ago because it seems so fresh to me.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay. Just to give you perspective, 29 years ago was 1997. 29 years before that was 1968. I wasn't even born yet. KISS didn't even exist yet. Right. That's how much time has passed, So
and when you go to the website, and when you go to the website, Robert, it shows that details will be announced to coincide with the 30th anniversary of You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best, which is this June is the 30th anniversary.
And it's interesting you're doing that because you're going to make your announcement on my birthday. So you can give me the announcement on June 25th, 2026. I know you did that on purpose. So
God. That must have been a cool year for you though, man. 96 and You Wanted the Best came out. That was your birthday the same day.
That was my birthday. Yep. So Tom, did you get me that for my birthday? I don't remember.
Probably not.
No, that's all right. You probably got me like an Alice in Chains CD.
Maybe in that time, yes.
Yeah. But that's awesome. I just checked out the website now. So remember everybody to go check it out, obviously. And can you repeat it one more time, Robert?
Sure. KISSfanforever.com. So nice. KISSfanforever.com.
And you definitely are full of like so many little minutia tidbits of things. And the KISS Army, as we know them, doing this podcast now 8 years, love that stuff. Love it.
Yeah.
So I know you'll find success. You're a great storyteller, and the stuff that you've been through and know and seen, I know people will be excited to hear about this.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that because when the Alive box set came out, you guys heard the Strange Ways rehearsal for the first time. I kept my mouth shut about that for 30 years. I had a working copy of the KISS rehearsals for years and decades. Now, if I had told you guys this a couple of years ago, or if I had said this, you know how many KISS fans would have said, "You're full of shit.
Yeah.
You're making this up, blah, blah, blah." Well, guess what? Didn't make it up, guys.
Wow.
That stuff's out there. And there's more in the vaults that, and this brings me to something else.
Yeah.
You wanted the best, you got the best. 30th anniversary is in June.
Yeah.
Now, I've been told by several sources that they're going to do another, limited edition vinyl black with a picture disc and so on and so forth. And the damn shame about that is this was the time to do the original intended version of You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best, not just the music.
What was that? What was that original intended version?
Well, the original, it was pitched several ways. It was
supposed to be a live compilation.
It was supposed to be a live compilation that had all live tracks that hadn't been heard before. In the commercial. Some of it may have been on bootleg, but it was primarily all stuff that was in the vault that had never been heard. That was the original concept, and then it got chopped up and everything, and all of a sudden we had to add a 17-minute Jay Leno interview.
Jesus, yeah,
yeah. I mean, just it's still painful to this day. Yeah, I have nothing against Jay Leno. I watched
me neither.
For many years.
Yeah,
but I'm like, but I'm like, that's a promo. That's not supposed to be on a commercial record.
Right.
That's a promo. Anyway, the thing about You Wanted the Best, and I reached out to both Universal and Pop House and got totally ignored. I wanted to, offer them my original concepts, the track listings, the whole thing, what we had, what we could have used, so on and so forth. So it could have been a double or a triple album done the way that it was originally intended. And instead, they're doing this, release, regular release with a picture disc and a, God knows what they're going to do, gold version, purple version, plaid version, liquid plastic, a record that, has robotic legs that jumps off the turntable and scares you. Who knows?
Right.
Hey, Robert.
It's just a shame. Yeah.
Will you let us know if they send you a copy?
Oh, yeah.
If they comp you on this one, or if they blow you off again.
Yeah. I think
and so we can let our listeners know, hey, update on the Robert Conte comp. You wanted the best. Nothing so far.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, but at the same time, I'm like, what? They don't even give Bill O'Coin or any other early KISS guys the proper credit on these box sets and the things that they're doing. So it's like, should I be surprised? Yeah,
so Robert, let me ask you this. So, and if you don't want to answer this, or if you can't answer this, what was there something that in terms of being the KISS catalog consultant? Okay, yeah. Did that kind of slowly and peacefully come to an end, or did you no longer want involvement, or was the sale and the breakup or the reunion and all these different things, how did that, were you involved in the box sets at all? It sounds like no.
No. I was involved in the sense that a couple of Polygram warehouse workers and I were the ones that found those tapes.
Okay.
So those tapes that were found 30 years ago that we organized, that we made sure everybody knew what all the track listings were and what was available, all that great stuff. And the fact, I brought this up recently when KISS did their landlocked cruise thing and they had the Universal rep on there. And he was saying how magically we found these tapes after all this time. I'm like, you know what? Those tapes were found. They were, written up. They were recoded. The whole thing back in 1996. That's a bunch of BS,
Right.
Oh man, they just acted like you had no part in it. Like who?
Oh yeah.
If someone should have put their hand up, excuse me. It's already on record. Robert V. Conte organized that stuff about 30 years ago for you guys, And I bet you they'd like, oh, who's that?
So it wasn't just me. It was some of the warehouse workers that helped me put all that together.
Yep.
And even and we made DAT tapes of all that stuff for not only for Polygram, but KISS got a set. There were sets out there for years. And I just find it quite interesting that all of a sudden, miraculously, after the 45th anniversary, we just happened to find these tapes and decided to hold it off the year 50. Oh, really?
Right,
okay.
right.
You know what they call that in our world? They call that PR speak. That's what that's.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. But I'm going to tell you. So I'll give you a little piece I've never told anybody before.
Please.
So this year is Destroyer's 50th anniversary, right?
Yep.
So I'm saying to myself, okay, there's a recording in the vault that they absolutely have to put out. Otherwise, what are they going to do? Wait to the 60th when most of us are gone or not, no longer interested. So the soundboard recording that's in the vault that I heard myself, that we had transferred to DAT, that we made available to the powers that be, is the Anaheim concert from '76.
Oh, yeah,
Why the hell do you not have an off the soundboard recording of that? Why? Why did you not put that out for the Destroyer 45th? Why didn't you put it out for the 50th? It's right there. What's your excuse now? You can't put it for the Rock and Roll Over box set because
that's what I was thinking.
That show took place earlier, right? So what's going on, guys? And do me a favor, please. You had like 5 off the soundboards with the same goddamn paper wrap that looks like the Who live at least. Please stop doing that. The asylum off the soundboard is a step in the right direction. So
finally
if and
a picture.
when,
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So if and when you decide to do an off the soundboard for Anaheim, please use a beautiful picture from the Anaheim stage, please.
So that's available though. That is something that could just be put out as a separate, since it's not in the box set, separate entity off the soundboard, the Destroyer tour.
Yeah, the Destroyer tour. You could totally put that out as a separate off the soundboard release. You could totally do
sell
that.
Well.
Oh, absolutely. Because let me tell you something. The bootleg that's been out there for decades sounds really good, but this one is incredible.
Wow. I have it, Robert. I have the bootleg. It's called KISS Destroys Anaheim. It's subtitled as the definitive soundboard recording. It's out. I have it, and it's out there.
Yeah, I'm just curious what they're going to do now that you're talking about this. Are they doing a 50th anniversary for Rock and Roll Over now? What do you think?
Well, if the marketing plan that we've seen thus far continues, then there should be a Rock and Roll Over box set this year. Should be. I was hoping, listening to the Pop House, presentation at Polestar yesterday. I was hoping for some news like that, but no. Again, we get the PR speak about the avatars, the avatars this, the avatars that.
Yeah,
technology changes so quickly that whatever they have today is going to be totally obsolete 2 months from now. What can you possibly do that's going to debut in 2028? That's going to be so realistic and that's going to make people fly to Vegas every weekend to go see them. I don't know. And honestly, and I'm saying this as a KISS fan of 40 something years. Yeah. I'm concerned. I'm like, you know what? I want this band's legacy to last in a positive way forever. I do. That's why my book's called KISS Fan Forever.
Yeah, we all do.
Right. But it's like, I'm looking at all this merchandise they keep putting out. I'm like, how many Dress to Kill t-shirts do you really need? How many?
Oh my God, honestly, you sound like us. We get shit for that constantly. That's one of our catchphrases now. We say it.
Yeah.
I'll say to Tom, they're releasing this in a new sweatshirt if you buy the, vinyl copy of this. I'm like, how much more KISS shit do I need? Seriously. Right? How many t-shirts of KISS, various KISS shirts, are you going to wear in public? How many?
I'm going to tell you a funny story. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to visit an old friend from high school days, right? He has a whole room full of KISS apparel, just the KISS apparel. That means the hats, the t-shirts, the scarves, right?
Yep.
So I said to him, I'm like, do me a favor. Pull out every Destroyer t-shirt you have. I want to see every design, right?
They're all the exact same.
60 different t-shirts. 62 to be exact. 60.
Come on.
I'm not every variant of a Ken Kelly cover you could possibly imagine on a KISS t-shirt. That means they made 60 different t-shirts between at least from the 80s onward, or
I'm not even
onward.
that bad.
60. Oh, the cover's a little bit to the left. Oh, the cover's a little bit to the right. Oh, the color pattern's different. I'm like, you drive me crazy. I said, these 60 T-shirts, that's one of your kids' tuition for college for a semester. Come on.
Oh,
Robert, we have these conversations constantly. We got to the point where, like, I don't get it. Like, KISS, I enjoy KISS. Tom enjoys KISS. Dude, we're doing a podcast for 8 years.
Right.
But it's not my identity. My identity is my family, my job, my other stuff. Like, people are just over the top obsessed with stupid shit that it's like, okay, now KISS is talking about these new things. Oh, yeah, the advertise. How much shit are you overselling that when it does come out, that people are like, yeah, that was great. Didn't blow my mind like they were talking about. It was great. How many times are you going to go to Vegas to go see that shit?
Right.
That, and even if they do a traveling tour with that, with what they're planning, again, it's like I love the fact that that Dio did a hologram show. I love the fact that ABBA does what they do. But is that a regular destination for anybody? No. Hey, this weekend I'm going to go see ABBA for the ABBA holograms for the 50th time.
And the other thing, too,
why you're going to see KISS in concert the last 10 years? They've been doing the same shit. And you're not missing anything.
Well, it's the other thing too, Robert. That's funny, and Zeus and I always talk about this. And I'm not stupid enough. I'm not naive. I understand that you have to sell something. You have to push it. You have to lift it up. But when you have Paul and Gene at the Polestar thing, talking about and Doc McGee was there as well, talking about this as if this has never been done, and this is people aren't even gonna be able to conceive what they're seeing, and that's not gonna happen. Like you said, in 2028, people are gonna be like, okay, this is cool, but what are we doing right now? What is this?
Yeah. It reminds me of the mid to late 80s when they were constantly talking about a KISS cartoon shows in the works. A KISS cartoon shows in the works.
It's like
KISS cartoon shows in
KISS
the works.
Park.
The KISS theme park, KISS World, like all these different things. And I'll tell you right now, God bless KISS and Popos. They're so lucky that there are so many anniversaries that they can capitalize on, because that right now is where all the and I'm a sucker. I buy a lot of it. You just had, in the fall, you had you had Dress to Kill and Alive back to back, Destroyer 50th. You wanted the best 30th, Rock and Roll of a 50th. Like that's what's keeping the ball rolling right now for them.
Yeah. I mean, I got to tell you, whether they give the proper acknowledgments or not, I am happy that these box sets are coming out, because it does give you more. I mean, that stuff is just phenomenal. And again, it's also kind of satisfying to finally be able to talk about stuff that was in the vaults 30 years ago. That was, but if I had told anybody 2 years ago, Gene sang Strange Ways in a rehearsal exists,
it's so
nobody
cool.
would have believed me. Yeah.
Right,
what I'm saying? Nobody would have believed me.
Yeah.
So fortunately, when I tell you guys that, there's stuff for Alive 2 when it comes out, if they do it, will blow your mind. But, again, is it part of Universal's marketing plan to do so? We'll have to wait till 2027. We'll find out.
Well, you know what's going to happen? They're going to release a Love Gun box set, and then 2 weeks later, they'll release Alive 2 box set, like they did with Dress to Kill and Alive.
That's exactly
what they'll do. How many years between Creatures of the Night and the next super deluxe box set, and then they throw them at you 1 month later? Like, what the hell is that?
Well, part of it. Part of it is that they're manufacturing both at the same time, so they're getting the price cheaper from the vendor because they're
Are
ordering.
You kidding me? That's why.
Oh, of course. Listen, that's one of the reasons why. Think about it. If a record manufacturer tells you, hey, if you print 2 or 3 of these box sets at the same time, we'll give you 5% off. Well, 5% can add up to a lot of money, right?
Jesus Christ.
Well, then pick a different album.
Yeah.
Don't pick Don't pick Alive, which is basically Dress to Kill. Like, pick something else to make a box set out of.
Well, that was
the same era.
Well, that was the thing, and again, I mean, we were happy with it, but when the Dress to Kill box set came out, I'm like, there's a live album in the Dress to Kill box set that's from the Alive tour, and then 2 months or 2 weeks later, you're releasing an Alive box set. It's like,
and then you release Kiss Landlocked in Vegas. Not long after that, you're like, people just are broke. You just had an event in Vegas. You released 2 big, huge, expensive box sets.
All
Before
like
that, you had the Creatures of the Night.
Right.
$1,000 glow in the dark box set of vinyls. They're just money after money after money after money. It gets exhausting.
Yeah.
The thing is that, it gets to a point, like, I'll give you a perfect example. Let's talk about Batman for a second. Okay.
Go for it.
Up until 1992, anything that came out of Batman from the time I was 6 years old in 76 to 1992, I bought. Didn't matter what it was. It was a Batman collectible. I loved Batman. Had to be part of my, collection. 1992 rolls around. Batman Returns comes out, and Kenner releases like 200 different action figures for Batman with all these different colors and, different functions and everything. And I gave up. I said, I can't take it. I can't spend a year's worth of my salary buying 200 different Batman figures. I can't do it. Right. And it made me lose the love for Batman collecting because I said to myself, I can't keep up. I can't keep up.
Robert, that's such a great point because Zeus and I have talked about this before. It's like, we love this band, but give us a reason to miss you. Like,
how can I miss you if you never go away?
Exactly. How can we miss you when you never go? And I know that there's that fine line between giving the fans what they want and making yourself scarce so that, the old saying, distance makes the heart grow fonder. Like right now, it's and again, you don't have to buy everything. Obviously, I get that before people jump down my throat. You don't have to buy everything that they're putting out. But it's bombardment, kind of like your Batman story.
Yeah. And it's happening with Godzilla right now. Godzilla had his 70th anniversary last year, right?
Yep.
2 years ago. And the amount of licensed Godzilla products that have come out since then, it's in the thousands.
Yeah.
It's in the thousands. And it's like, if you're a Godzilla fan that you just love collecting everything, you can't do it anymore. You can't. Right. Okay, right. It's just not possible. So now the way the licensors look at consumers, they look at consumers and they say, okay, we know that this age will buy this type of Godzilla product. We know that this gender will buy this type of Godzilla product. We know that if they're female, they'll buy the cute Godzilla Tokidoki shirts and all that other crap. So, but for an OCD completist like myself, I was one of those people. Okay.
Yeah.
You could go batshit trying to find all this stuff. Then what you got to pay for it. A dear friend of mine literally put himself in debt, to buy all these stupid collectibles. And I hate to say it. I mean, honestly, I'm a KISS fan of the music. There are certain T-shirts and posters I'll always love and things like that. Sure. But do I need to buy a set of KISS Hot in the Shade coasters that don't even have the right date on them? Do I need to do that? No.
You don't have a collection of KISS pencils and belt buckles? And
you don't have KISS Asylum playing cards or whatever the hell they released? You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, Robert, I do bankruptcy work. I'm a bankruptcy attorney. You have no idea the amount of... I just want to say sometimes, are you a fucking shithead to some of these people? Yeah. Well, then I was really into matches. And I buy matches, like matches in the back. Like I collect them, and I'd go to all these fairs and flea markets and pick up matches and spend a lot of money. And are you fucking kidding me? You're in front of me in a bankruptcy chair because you're buying matches. Like, what is wrong with these people? And you're right. It's an OCD.
Yeah. It's an OCD thing
mentality. Yes, and it's similar to. We always call it the Star Wars, wrestling, and KISS fans. They're all the same. It's that OCD completes. I got to have every single version of KISS Greatest.
And they know it. And they know it.
You know what? I wait. I'll look on eBay. I put a search in there. If something comes around, I'll look at it. No, I'm not spending $1,000 on a used Mexican CD of Greatest Kiss. Go fuck yourself. Like what am I doing? Sure, I see it for $30, $40. I'll buy it. And then I say, okay, I have it. But like, have some like rules with your collection. You're right. Your friend that just went overboard.
And I love the guy. I've known this guy since
I'm sure you do.
Years old.
Sure.
I love the guy. But I'm like 62 Destroyer shirts. 62. What is wrong with you? And that's just Destroyer.
Why do you have that?
That's just Destroyer.
I mean, I thought I was bad with some of the stuff I collect, but good God, I'm nothing compared to these people.
Yeah, it's a tough thing, though. It's a mentality, OCD, collection, completist. And KISS knows they have that in you.
Well, I was just going to say, KISS knows that when they release these things, okay, hey, we're going to release a picture disc. We're going to release a colored vinyl. We're going to release a swirl vinyl. Well, guess what? You got to get all of them because you can't be left out in the cold.
Oh, we got these Uruguay Paul Stanley Who Wants to Be Lonely video gloves. You can get them autographed and sent to you. There's only 4 copies in the world. Like, okay, you have one of the 4 copies. What the fuck is that worth? Like, what are you doing? You're bankrupting yourself.
Yep.
What hurts, and this actually hurts me, guys, to say this, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? Like I told you, I was one of those OCD kids that bought everything KISS that came out. During the reunion tour, I think I bought a shirt for every concert I attended. The same exact design on the front.
That's a memory too. I get that.
Yeah. So that's part sentimental. But you know what? I'm going to be 56, and I said to myself, you know what? All of this stuff, when it comes down to it, I can't take it with me. Number one, right? My 3 kids don't give a shit about KISS, don't want anything to do with it. Told me, Dad, if you don't sell this before you die, it's going in the trash.
Yeah, exactly.
Zeus says that.
We say it all the time. Once they bury you, they're going to be like, what the fuck is all this shit in the attic? Throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
And listen, I hate
why does Tom have these KISS coaster things here?
He's got these Gene Simmons candlestick holders. What are we doing?
Yep.
So it's tough because I get it why we like it, but at a certain point in time, you're going to be a lonely old man looking at the thousands of dollars that you spent, and you're wondering where you're next. How are you going to pay the rent next month? And you're like,
right?
The fuck did I waste my money on this stuff for?
Well, you'll be a lonely old man playing with your KISS dolls.
Yeah. But what's also sad is that, you're starting to see these dumps of KISS merchandise, especially from the 90s onward, for very, very cheap prices, very cheap.
Yep.
So all these people invested in stuff thinking they were going to make some hot profit, for buying all this stuff from the reunion and Psycho Circus. I got news for you guys. Not happening. You better,
it's a sad thing.
That stuff.
They just had the indie event.
The Indie KISS Expo. Yep.
Yeah, I saw. What's our buddy's name there? The record guy.
Jason Herndon.
So he said he had an estate, somebody he was friends with. Estate hired him to sell the guy's stuff because somebody probably walked in and was like, "Is this shit worth any money?" And he went and sold it all.
And it's worth a lot of money.
The guy is dead.
Yep.
So I hope his family gets something for it, but he didn't get to enjoy that during his lifetime. Like, what are we doing?
Oh, listen, I was in a flea market maybe about 2 weeks ago. My girlfriend and I went to a flea market. I went in the flea market, and there was a guy there with like tons of KISS stuff, like a third of its original retail price. And I said, are you selling this for somebody? Is it on consignment? Same thing. Somebody died. The daughter didn't care. Sold it for pennies on the dollar just to get rid of it. And I said to myself, you know what? It's sad because even everything except for the real rare, valuable stuff, like if you have a KISS white label first album, okay, there's a value there. If you have the first press kits, there's a value there. There's certain things that I think will not decrease in price. But, I one of my friends, he had a KISS makeup kit, the Remco kit from 78.
Oh, yeah.
And
Huge collector's item.
Now, Yeah, but get this. He finally opens it up, and I'm there when he opens it up, and all the makeup stuff separated, like all the makeup, the chemicals, and everything. Like the stuff.
Of course,
this is worthless.
50 years old.
Right. It was not meant to last this long. It was meant to be used and thrown away.
Right.
And
wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
tough.
we're entering an era where we're going to be seeing a lot of this stuff deeply discounted.
Yeah.
And for the OCD KISS collectors is still out there, it's going to be a good time for them because it's going to be a buyer's market, not a seller's market, right?
Right.
But anybody that is heavily invested in this stuff, thinking they're going to make a ton of money, especially with all this new product that just keeps coming out. How many people really care? Hey, I got a Dress to Kill T-shirt from 1992. Oh, that's great. But
no one cares.
There's like 300 of them that have come out since. So,
so true.
Where's the value there, pal?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert, tell people where they can find you if they want to hear more about your background, your other involvements with some of the other things you're involved in, where they can get more Robert V. Conte.
Oh, okay. Well, again, my regular website, studiochikara.com. That keeps you updated on everything I'm doing. I'm working on a few other projects. There was a comic book character I worked on in the 90s called Zen Intergalactic Ninja. Whoa. And we did pretty well. It's been in print now for almost 40 years.
Good for you. Excellent.
Yeah, thank you. And so we're doing a collection of some of the rarest stories. And, Zen, we wound up doing video games and everything with that character,
Awesome.
So I'm pretty proud of my tenure with that. And we're going to do a book. Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, he did the cover for the book that's coming out. So
nice.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. We've got, got some other things in the fire,
awesome.
But,
and if anything big, you're going to come back?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Hopefully around Christmas time, I'll have some really good news for you guys. So
Excellent.
We'll have you back.
He is the great Robert V. Conte. We love having him on. We could talk to him for hours on end, but we want to keep it nice and concise. Robert, we love having you. We can't wait to have you back, and we will certainly have you back because we love talking KISS and hearing your story. So, Robert, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it so much.
Guys, it's always a pleasure, and I listen to your podcast regularly.
Thank you.
Always entertaining. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Robert.
it.
You're the best. Tom, Robert V. Conte, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Thoughts?
Great stuff. I love getting into the minutia of stuff like this. We don't do it all the time. We don't do it with every guest. We don't do it every week. But I really liked the stories behind Greatest KISS. Because me and you have talked about this in the past when we do compilation reviews. Like, who picks these songs? And hearing him actually be part of that process and hearing them like screw up and picking the wrong songs and not knowing what they're doing and having, the Mexican version and the Japan version. I love that kind of inside baseball talk with him. And he is so passionate about it too. And then, talking about what, you wanted the best. And then just having like a free form conversation about KISS. It's always great having Robert on. I love talking to that guy.
Yeah, I think he's great. What I found awesome is he's such a big KISS fan, but him telling these stories, he was getting more and more built up, frustrating.
You could see he was getting agitated. It's like,
and then eventually man, guys, I'm so sorry. I've been so negative. We're like, dude, first of all, my first thought is we bring that out of people. And second of all, I was like, dude, what are you talking about? You're nowhere as close as us.
Right. But to him, that's negative when he gets animated like that.
But a guy like him, we didn't ask him to get negative. He didn't
know.
But he's realistic. He's authentic.
Yep.
What was that word again?
Authentic.
Yeah, Tom. There's not much of that going around. It's all fucking yay, wee, yay.
Everything's awesome. Woohoo! This is great.
Ice cream for everyone. Yay!
Yeah, it's incredible.
Oh, here's exactly what's being put out. And we got it straight from the band. And they're gonna post it, and everyone's gonna put verbatim.
Great.
Never, even the hint of any fucking realistic criticism or review or opinion
analysis, nothing. It's mouthpiece. It's like I say, it's like mainstream media. It's just mouthpiece.
Well, you got to get your free pencils. You got to get them somehow.
That's good. Yeah, good point. Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
fair.
well, anyways, great time with Robert.
Yep.
And Tom, what we do next is this.
Hey, what is this? 20 fucking questions?
Nope, it's only one question. It's brought to us by the great Shouted Out Loudcast Hall of Famer, the one and only Tony the Taxman Barone of AB CPA Inc. Tony Barone is a Shouted Out Loudcast Hall of Famer because AB CPA Inc. is an accounting firm located in the suburbs of Chicago that will assist you in all of your advisory and maintenance services for your accounting and tax needs. For businesses, they can help you with everything from starting your business, your bookkeeping, your payroll processing, all of those tax returns, and of course, filing the federal and state income tax returns. And if you're an individual, they can help you with everything from rental real estate, trust and estate returns, and of course, those pesky federal and state income tax returns that are a day late right now because it's Thursday, April 16th. We know you're not late, especially if you use Tony. They have access to all 50 states, Zeus. So whether you live in
Oregon
or
Wyoming,
they can prepare an e-file on your behalf. Check him out on Facebook and LinkedIn. Visit his website at abcpainc.com or call Tony directly at 708-430-3232, 708-430-3232, abcpainc.com. Say it every week. We'll say it again. Tony got us through another tax season. Flawless, excellent communication. Love him and his staff. They're incredible. So even if you don't need him for your tax returns, any of the things I mentioned before regarding your personal or business, check him out. He's the best. And with that being said, let's get to our question of the week. This comes from our longtime supporter and good friend, Kyle Schneider, also known as Power Tom Kyle on Instagram. Simple question. It's pretty much relative to our poll, Zeus. What are 2 songs you would like to see Quarantine add to the set list? Kyle says he'd like to see I've Had Enough in Killer.
Well, there's a reason why the songs that made the poll for that are there, because 2 of them are mine, 2 of them are yours, Not for the Innocent, and basically Take It Off. I want both of them. I want a Gene song and a Paul song from that.
What about something a little bit left of center that didn't make the poll? Because you're right. Those are the ones for me, too.
Those are the ones that I wanted. So What else would I put in there? Why not You Make Me Rock Hard?
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I was going to say something like that because, look, the Quarantine show is fun. It's a celebration of 80s Kiss. As much as we love Gene and Revenge, I don't want to hear too much dark stuff. I'd want to hear probably maybe some more Asylum stuff. I don't know. Who Wants to Be Lonely, or maybe,
Any Way You Slice It, King of Hearts.
Right. Yeah, something like that. Maybe another Gene song, maybe Hell or High Water off of Crazy Nights, something like that. But I know I love the set list. They keep it fresh. So again, we're gonna champion Quarantine and Jericho, and that band is spectacular. So check them out. And that being said, Kyle, thank you for your never-ending support and for your question of the week, my friend. We really appreciate it.
Tom, where can people find us?
Always start with our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com. That's where you can find everything about the show, all of our episodes, all of our rankings, links to all of our wonderful guests, links to our social media, links to our awesome Shout It Out Loudcast merch, some crazy items there with some catchphrases from the show, which is really cool. Great stuff there. And of course, the most important link, the one to our #1 Amazon best-selling book, Raise Your Glasses. So please check that out. And of course, our email address, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. So please check that out as well. And we always like to mention that we're a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network of shows.
Yeah, you can DM us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok, motherfucker. Check out our Spotify playlist, where you go to our profile, not the podcast page on Spotify.
Yep.
And then make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You do.
And give us one of those 5-star child reviews on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Those are a big help to us. And if you do, we give you a shout out as well. And make sure you give us a 5-star review on our best-selling book on Amazon, Raise Your Glasses. That helps move us up the food chain. So, Tom, we always end on famous last words. You got any?
Oh, yeah. In honor of Greatest Kiss. Our uniform is leather. and our power is our age. We're getting it together to break out of this cage. All right. Relax.
I got one for you, Tom.
Uh-oh.
This is what's going to happen when everyone's at the KISS Landlock in Vegas. What are they going to do? What are they going to play next? What's going on? What are they going to do? Oh, it's cold gin time again. You know it'll always win. It's cold gin time again. You know it's the only song that will allow us to play together.
Oh, nice. Why are you so negative?
It's not important for me to be positive.
Fuck him, exactly. Thank you.
Robert V. Conte. Tom, Loudcasters, KISS Army. Thank you.
Robert V. Conte, thank you so much. Always a great time with you. We love having you on. I'm sure we'll have you back. And, of course, Loudcasters, you guys rock the best. Thank you. Zeus, as always, my friend, thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Hit the music. What I'd like now is for all you fat, out-of-shape, worldwide KISS-tards to keep the noise down while I show your ladies what a real sexy man looks like.
Listen, all you people out there sitting on rented furniture, settle down.
Cut the music. Anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?